Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Chandelure now in the Master League. If you haven't seen it already, I made a video prior today earlier about Chandelure in the Great League meta. Had a great time with this Pokemon, got a 7 and 3 there. And now we can take a look at the Master League meta. And actually here I also went kinda positive. I think I went in total 8 and 7 with this team and had a great time, to be honest. Like, this team was basically what I kind of wanted to use anyway, or like in general, Chandelure in the Master League was the thing where I was looking forward the most for it, because I think it does make the most sense in this kind of league. Of course, as well, if we would get the Master League Premier Classic Cup back, or just the Master League Premier Cup, then it would even make more sense there, as you would be able to avoid legendary Pokemon, which is, as a non-legendary Pokemon, pretty nice, but like this, it's still very, very decent. And this is the thing here about this Pokemon. Poltergeist itself is a move that takes a lot of energy, but does a ton of damage, and you will see how much this actually impacts the Master League matchups. And it is pretty damn decent. Like, I've seen some one-shots with this Pokemon today that I didn't expect whatsoever, and I can't wait to share them with you. As we can take a look at some battles here. We see the first opponent, the second opponent here with Excadrill in the lead. Pretty decent lead actually for us. We win this in the two-shield scenario. We just have to wait until they throw the first move, as we don't really want to get debuffed before. But one close combat would knock out the Excadrill at this point of time. Again, you kind of want to keep the shields, but there's nothing really super bulky other than maybe a Lugia, which you could pair up with the Chandelure, but I don't have my Lugia built, so yeah, this is basically all that I have. I think Lugia would be actually a perfect fit for this Pokemon. Use Lugia as a Sazop instead of Mewtwo if you have it, because you will be able to force shields with the Aeroblast. You can take basically every move, and you will be able to get out the Giratina Origin, which you also don't really want to face with your Pokemon in the back. So this would be the perfect fit instead of the Mewtwo, but of course I don't have one, and we can see how much damage it can do against a Kyogre here. And you see how much damage it does. It does a ton of damage. Sadly not enough to one-shot it here, but we're gonna get this thing super low. They can go for one surf, and we see a Metagross coming in. We have our Shadow Ball here, and I was thinking I kinda have to let them kill me so I get more farm, so I can farm them down maybe with our Chandelure and get to another move here. But maybe I should have actually thrown my charge move there instead with my Mewtwo. But I don't think I would have mattered anyway, because I don't think I would have been able to farm down this Kyogre, so we lose kinda close there, but fine. We see a Togekiss in the lead here. I think this is even a best buddy version as well. It doesn't only have the ribbon, I think it's actually best buddy. As we see also a best buddy ribbon Giratina coming in. Someone loves the Master League here, it seems like it. As we can go for 2 side strikes, which will allow us to get one shield from the opponent, and we I think have a Play Rough stored on our Zacian, which allows us to actually also KO the Giratina now, which should be pretty fine. We go back into our Zacian now, and we should be able to go for one Play Rough. I don't really want to shield up the potential Ancient Power on my on my Fireboy there, so I decide, even though I thought first I was swapping out there, that I'm going to stay in a little bit. This should only be the Ancient Power, and it is only the Ancient Power. I will farm up to one close combat and then swap out, so I can snipe something later on, as we see a Lugia coming in. I just go straight Poltergeist. And Poltergeist against a Lugia does so much damage. Like, this is the bulkiest Pokemon in Pokemon Go, to be honest. Of course, you could say it's Blissey or something, but this is the one that actually has decent moves, and this bulkiest Pokemon in the Master League available right now. And it just nearly got one-shot by this move. Of course, it's super effective. Of course, it's stab. Of course, you have a very high attack Pokemon here. And the move itself does a ton of damage itself, but like, you saw how strong this move can be if you can get it into the right position. And I had a great time with this move, and you're going to see a lot of times more where I hit like some more bulkier Pokemon from full health and nearly KO them, or actually KO them. So, going to be a lot of fun. We see the Lugia here again, sadly this time in the lead and not in the back. We're going to shield up the first move. This is like the thing with Aeroblast. Aeroblast basically gets always a shield against everything, unless you face a Steel type with this Pokemon here that also isn't Dialga, because Dialga is actually pretty fine still for the Lugia. You can just always get shields with the Lugia, which is just the case for this Pokemon. But we will be actually able to get a ton of energy here, swap into a Mewtwo, we can catch the move, it doesn't do as much damage, and we will be able to now get a ton of energy here against the incoming Ho-Oh, which is important that we get energy here, because Ho-Oh is a Pokemon that I don't really like to face with this team. My lead can't do anything about it, and also the Pokemon in the back with the Chandelure is not the best and ideal solution for this Pokemon. But my Mewtwo going to be able to get this thing low. I will be able to tank this move and go into my Chandelure now, trying to farm it all the way down, and they go straight for the Brave Bird here, which is amazing for me, because now they still need 3 more fast moves to get to a next move, and I can just farm them all the way down before they can go even for another move. As we see the opponent coming in now into their Lugia again, they caught the move there. I saw the final Pokemon already, and seeing the final Pokemon already tells me that I will be able to win this game. I can go for the Poltergeist, we are +1, we see a Dialga with a shield, and we see the Dialga going directly out of this matchup again. You see how much damage this move can do if it gets unshielded, and it was a ton of fun to play this team here. We see a Giratina in the lead, which is actually, I think, the worst possible thing that I can face. This Pokemon would basically beat my entire team. We have coverage on all our Pokemons for this Pokemon, but on a 0, like in a neutral matchup there, Giratina is just a little bit too strong. What I would do, by the way, in the lead matchup, which I only really realized at the end when like I was basically done with my battles, you should actually try to shield up the first move there with your Zacian, because this will allow you to go for 2 play roughs, and otherwise they can just go for 1 Omnious Wind and farm you down and KO you before you can get to the second play rough. So this would be the safer way to go. Just shield the first move, because it's basically always a Shadow Ball, and you should be better off here. As we see that we can KO this Dialga, in comes now the we actually see the Togekiss coming in here, but sadly I don't think this will be a decent time. We have to go for the Poltergeist immediately, but I don't know why I don't go for it. It's kind of obvious that they're going to shield here. I might have been able to win this game actually if they did, if I had the Shadow Ball, but I don't think even then I wouldn't have been able to do this. So yeah, it is fine. We're going to lose this game now. There's nothing we can do here, and we're going to go down here. I'm still going to, no, I'm not going to shield here because I know it's over, so we can go directly into the next match. We see some bug here in the beginning. That's very nice, as we see a Zacian against us in the lead with Snarl. We have the better Zacian here, but actually Snarl generates energy a little bit faster, which means they're going to definitely force 1 shield for me, but I think we're going to win this in the 2 shield scenario, so it's a little bit of an iffy matchup here, but they will be able to reach the next move a little bit before me, because they just generate the 0.3 energy more per turn. But we will be able to go for 1 close combat now. We had to throw here, sadly. And we have some extra energy at least, and we will see a Ho coming in. Horrible matchup for us again. We can go into our Mewtwo, and we will be able to throw our Side Strike now onto their Ho-Oh, as they're going to shield it up. I have to shield up here as well, because this is my best matchup. Basically, they go for 1 Brave Bird, which is amazing, because this basically means that I can farm up extra, go for 1 Side Strike now, and this Side Strike will get the final shield, and they are debuffed, which means they're going to swap out basically immediately when I go into my Chandelure, most likely, especially as they throw immediately. I'm going to go into my Chandelure now, because I expect them to swap out, and we see a Groudon coming in. Groudon has access, of course, to the Earthquake, so we cannot stay in here, and I make a huge mistake by going for the close combat. I'm pretty sure the play rough would have done more damage, and the more damage would have helped me now to KO this thing. But yeah, like now, sadly, Flame Charge will not be able to knock them out here, but I don't think I would have been able to win this game anyway, so it doesn't really matter, as they go for 1 Fire Punch. Never mind, they don't have the Earthquake. Let's see what we can do here still. Can we still go for the Poltergeist? We can win the CMP tie here. And of course, Poltergeist going to completely wreck this Ho-Oh and completely destroys this thing. Amazing gameplay there. I just love to play this Pokemon. It's just so much fun, to be honest. We see the next opponent having a Ho-Oh in the lead. We can go into our Mewtwo here. And we see some weird lag there. They got all of a sudden like a 2-turn Incinerate. Very cool there. As we can go for 1 Side Strike, get the shield, can shield up their move, and they go for the Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire will debuff our attack here. We can go back to 1 Side Strike, and this Side Strike will get some pretty decent damage on them, while we are not able to get to another one in time. we should be able to get to the next one before them, but they're actually going to swap out here. We are debuffed, so I'm going to swap out into my Zacian as well to clear the attack debuff, and we try to go for some play rough damage here first, because I don't want to debuff myself, because then one Iron Head would knock me out immediately, while at this point of time it wouldn't knock out me immediately, but I sadly CMP tie with them here, which is really not good for me. They go for the Iron Head here. I maybe should have tried to uncharge, but I'm just gonna go straight for the full farm there, but they go into their Ho-Oh now, and we will sadly lose this game here, right? No, we can go for one Side Strike here, and we have 100 energy now. Let's see what they have in the back. They're going to shield this move up, which is amazing for us, because we can go for another Side Strike, and their energy goes to waste here. We will see the Zacian coming in here. Now we have Zacian against Chandelure, and this is an amazing matchup for the Chandelure, as even the Zacian will not be able to do anything here. This move will knock them out, and even though they had just the best move there basically, you were able to knock them out with the Chandelure. Zacian basically get hard-walled in the current moveset, at least the moveset that I have from Chandelure, by the way. Fast move is resisted, close combat is resisted, and also the play rough is resisted. Two of them even double resisted, which is amazing. So Chandelure is basically a Zacian answer, which is kind of hilarious, as we see that we can go for some more play roughs against the Giratina here. Fine for us. They go for a Shadow Ball. Again, this time around I think I shielded their first time, which is definitely the way to go, because now you can go for your own one, you can swap into your Mewtwo, and you can force shields here, as you're gonna be able to outspeed them still, and this is the way to go, definitely. Like, don't do the stuff that I did in the previous battles. It's how you're supposed to play it, definitely. As we see a Zacian coming in, this is fine for me at least. I can go for one Side Strike, I will be able to knock it out with another one, and we could have actually won for one more fast move. This was a slight misplay of my play there, because we would have easily won CMP. Doesn't matter at the end. They go for one Omnious Wind here most likely, and they will not knock me out, but I should be able to farm them down with my Chandelure. They get to another move here, it's fine for me, but I can just get some energy lead. Let's see what they have in the back. It's going to be most likely something like a Togekiss. We see another move coming through here. The Poltergeist gonna hit it, and we nearly one-shotted. One more fast move will be enough to knock them out. They will be able to knock us out though, which is fine. We still have our Pokemon in the back there with the Zacian, and even the double resisted quick attack will do enough to knock them out and win us the game. What a game again. The Poltergeist just does a ton of damage. We see a Groudon in the lead. This Groudon is using the move Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail is interesting move here. It does a lot of neutral damage against a lot of Pokemon there. Going to make basically the Groudon a generalist, because now something like a flying type actually doesn't really want to face this Pokemon. For example, the Dragonite is a pretty decent-ish matchup for you there. But we will see them as well going for one Fire Punch now. Fine for me, I have to throw now because I'm already at 100 energy. I go for the close combat, knock them out, and we will see the opponent coming in to a Ho-Oh again. We are sadly not having the best time against Ho-Oh here, but we can go for one Side Strike against this incoming Giratina. But basically the backline of them kind of hard-walls our backline, which is not ideal. They go for an Omnious Wind, that means we can go for one Shadow Ball of our own, and this nearly knocks out the opponent, which is our only play to try to win this game here. But sadly, we will not be able to knock them out yet. We try to get the shield here and maybe get some damage on them. With this close combat, they're going to let this move go through. I had to do this because I kind of needed some extra energy on our Ghost type in the back here. We will be able to get an extra Incinerate through when they throw that charge move, but at the end of the day, especially after me seeing their debuff here, there's nothing I can do here really. I should have went straight for Poltergeist, but even then, it doesn't matter. I would have got to another move anyway. So this game is over. I can just let this move go through, and we're going to get knocked out by this Ho-Oh with one Brave Bird. Good game to my opponent, as we can go into the final match. Final match, we see a Dialga in the lead. Dialga, of course, will have access to the Iron Head, but if you're patient enough, you will be able to survive one at least, and you will be able to go for your close combats, as we will be able to now go for the close combat, try to get this thing low. If they want to let this go, fine for me. If they shield both of them, it's also okay, but they're actually going to catch the move on Giratina, which is horrible for me. This catch basically ruins my life, because, like, what am I supposed to do here now? I can go for Shadow Ball, of course, and try to knock them out, but likelihood of this working out is pretty slim, so I'm going to go for one bait first. Side Strike coming through, let's see what we can do here. We're going to get the shield from them. Can we reach the Shadow Ball in time? We can. Do they shield this move up? I doubt it here, to be honest, and I will be able to not knock them out, but get them low. And now it's Chandelure time. We already got 2 Pokemon low. There's no way that Chandelure will not be able to win this game here, right? We got this thing now down. Chandelure going to go for a sweep most likely. We see the Dialga coming in, and there's going to be a nice sweep as we see a Buzzwole in the back, and Buzzwole doesn't like our fire type damage here, so this is going to be it for this video. We will be able to knock out this Buzzwole with 1 more flame charge. Chandelure is a ton of fun in the Master League, and thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day and leave a like if you haven't. Bye.